We're going deck by deck to explore the incredible features and amenities of Utopia of the Seas, the 237,000 gross ton cruise ship from Royal Caribbean. From the massive high-tech theater, magical tiki bar, and outdoor water shows, to the many restaurants, pools, slides, and more, we'll show you around while sharing our thoughts and tips along the way. Starting on the lower decks, we're going to begin at the Royal Theater. This is the main theater venue on Utopia of the Seas. It is a big space. Generally pretty good sightlines. You do have some columns around to watch out for, but we walked around and found you got a pretty good view from most of the seats, and there are a lot of them. This is where you're going to find the big production shows, sometimes comedians, perhaps lectures, and the big thing here is the technology. That's kind of what Royal Caribbean has become known for, is the quality of their entertainment, and it does not disappoint with the production shows here and everything that goes into the theater to make it a great experience. Near the theater, on Deck 44, it is the Entertainment Place. This is a complex that has the Diamond Club Lounge, though that wasn't ready yet when we were on an early preview sailing, as well as the non-smoking casino, separate from the regular casino, and the Attic Comedy Club. That's where you'll find comedians as well as late-night parties. Studio B is also in this area, and that's where you'll find certain other shows, but the big thing here are the ice shows, and they are impressive. Really neat costuming. It's a fun time. You'll also find this is used as a nightclub. Here, we got a little more lively. We got there right as it started. They had kind of a cool dance party that in person, when you were staying there, it felt like you were moving because of the high definition projections on the floor. So again, with the technology in entertainment programming. Continuing down Deck 4 midship, the Park West Art Gallery. Now this is where you can just browse, free to browse. You can also participate in art auctions. Buyer beware, pay what you think something is worth to you. Don't pay attention to what someone else tells you something is worth, but that is available, and it's a fun place to walk through. I like seeing what they've got on the walls at any given time. More room for Lady Luck Casino Royale, the main casino, which does allow smoking here on Deck 4. It also features the casino bar, which is open very late at night as long as the casino's open, so generally as long as you're not in or near port. Can't really show you much inside, can't film, but wanted to give you a quick idea of what the main casino looks like in case that's something you're interested in. Next, if you're looking for a very new experience, Deck 4 aft the Royal Railway Utopia Station. This is a new specialty restaurant concept, and it is, as of right now, only on Utopia. There's a show element to this where, I don't want to ruin the surprise, but something happens while you're having dinner and it feels like you are dining in a rail car. The entire thing moves. It really truly feels like you're on a rail car. You have the windows with scenery going by. There are little hidden things in there. When we were on, this wasn't fully operational yet as a restaurant, but we understand that they're starting out with a dinner experience and they'll add other things, perhaps a tasting, going through different parts of the world, like a wine tasting, scotch tasting, things like that. Stay tuned. I think this is a concept that is going to prove very popular and that they'll be able to do a lot with, but it is somewhat low capacity. There are several cars like this, but as you can imagine, even if you had 6 of them, that doesn't give you a ton of capacity. So if you're interested in this, make sure you book as soon as you can. Now, with plenty of capacity and included with your cruise fare, that's always nice. On decks 4, 5, and 6, you have the main dining rooms. Spanning 3 decks, they'll tell you where to go based on what table you're assigned or if you have any time dining. It's a beautiful space, very well lit. I recommend if you have specific requests in terms of where you would like to sit, who you would like to sit with. Not only should you have your travel professional annotate your reservation in advance, but head over, find somebody on day one, ask them politely. They may not be able to accommodate you on the first day, but they can generally get you on subsequent days. After dinner, when I'm cruising, I like to go for a walk. You can find the jogging track on Deck 5. And it's interesting because Utopia is an Oasis class ship, and that means it's very large. It's only 2.4 laps around the jogging track to a mile. Now, I'm not jogging after dinner, but it's a great way to take a walk and get some fresh air. or maybe where you take your morning workouts, or you can enjoy the stairs. I just like to point this out because there's so much cool artwork in the stairs on Royal Caribbean ships. If you're up to it and you can avoid the elevator sometimes, it's a great way to burn off some cruise calories. On to the Royal Promenade on Deck 5 midship. This is a big area. If you're familiar with Royal Promenade on other Royal Caribbean ships, same idea, but honestly, they plus it every time. And you've got all sorts of things, big and small here, from this very small Vue desk, if you have questions or problems with wireless internet, to shops, restaurants, bars, and we're going to go in a few here. We have Regalia Watches. A lot of folks are big into watches now. I think now we're very divided people. You're either into watches, or you're like, no, I have a smartwatch. I don't need that. What we all need sometimes is a nice tiki bar, and you'll find the Pesky Parrot right across the street from Regalia. This is a tiki bar that is different than the bamboo room that you'll find on other Royal Caribbean ships. Personally, I found I like this a lot more. I love the bamboo room, but this is a lot less dark. There's a much brighter space, felt a little more lively, and they have a great selection of tiki drinks and other beverages. Neat space to relax, hang out with friends, make plans. I especially like these big windows. They show different scenes that change throughout the day, including the swimming pigs of the Bahamas. So great place to spend some time. When you step out of the Pesky Parrot, you may see, depending on where it's at, like here, what looks like a UFO, but this is actually a moving bar. Rising Tide goes from Deck 5, where we are now, all the way up to Deck 8, Central Park. We'll get there later. It is not a ride. It does not go quickly. It goes very, very slowly. I can't remember how long it takes to make a full trip, but it's a neat idea. At the same time, you do it once, you're like, okay, mission accomplished, but you will want to time it right. There are screens outside of it that will tell you when it is arriving at the deck you're waiting at. Guest services also located Deck 5. If you need anything, any problems, questions, you can head over there, open 24 hours. Also open 24 hours, next to that is Cafe Promenade. This is where you can get your specialty coffees, as well as just regular drip coffee or hot water for tea, as well as these juices and other beverages available. There are also complimentary food items. They have sweet and savory. It changes throughout the day. So any time of the day that you are a little bit hungry or you need your caffeine fix, you can come over here. It's worth noting that if you have the beverage package, those specialty coffees that are purchased at Cafe Promenade are included. Across from there, and just across from a car, yes, every Oasis class ship has a car, is EFFY Jewelry. If you're into the EFFY brand and their products, then you will be delighted because this is a large EFFY retail space and a lot of shiny things. I'm not a jewelry person, but a lot of shiny things. If I want something shiny, I'm looking for a cruise, and you can do that right next door at Next Cruise. Book on board, and they have some additional benefits. Benefits aren't always as good as they used to be for booking on board, but make sure you have another cruise booked. That way you're not sad about getting off this one. That's the way it works. Here at the Accessory Place, you'll find high-end handbags and other accessories. Personally, I'm not into paying that much money for a bag. I use, more economical purses. Bell and Barley Pub is located here as well. This is an Irish pub and a very popular late night spot. So there is usually a pub singer, like a guitarist and singer, that will hang out here most evenings of a cruise. You can come in here, enjoy a wide selection of beers as well as anything else from the bar. And when you need to soak some of that up, you can head over to Sorrento's for complimentary pizza. They are, I believe, 24 hours or at least extended hours as well, so that is very handy. In this part of the promenade, we've got this cool shell artwork, kind of glows from the inside at night. It's especially neat looking. And there's a lot of different retail spots here. There are some kiosks, there are a couple stores, so we're just going to bunch them all together in this part of the video. If you're looking for duty-free liquor, some good deals to be had there. They'll always compare and find out what it is on land because it does vary. You've got makeup and fragrances in this area. There's also a lot of logo merch. And I like to have something from every ship I've been on, which means my place gets very cluttered at this point, but it's something I do. And if you want the opportunity to check out more ships, more resorts, any kind of travel at all, please check out our friends and partners at Touring and Cruises Travel. They plan all of our travel, our individual trips, as well as the Cruise Habit group cruises. Check them out. It'll help the channel and it'll help you. We can all travel smarter with Touring and Cruises. Something they appreciate about us, because they are our friends over at Touring Cruises, is that in Spotlight Karaoke, this fabulous venue, you won't find us singing there, because nobody wants to hear that. But this is a fun place to hang out. I like watching people sing karaoke, just grab a beverage. This is also where sometimes they'll have trivia or sometimes show sporting events. Outside of there is Starbucks. Now, if you want your Starbucks fix, great. Just know Starbucks drinks are not included on the drink package, but it is an option for you. Reaching the other end of the Royal Promenade, we see Boleros. Boleros is a kind of dance club, nightclub, especially for Latin dance music. Sometimes it's recorded, sometimes they have dance lessons, sometimes, often, in fact, they have a live band. This can be a pretty popular spot, especially on Utopia, which is going to be doing shorter sailings out of Florida, so you'll have a lot of Florida natives enjoying that spot, I'm sure. Continuing now to walk forward on Deck 5, enjoying that lovely artwork. You can also find the Vitality Spa and Fitness Center. This actually takes up Decks 5 and 6. If you want to go to the Fitness Center, generally the way you're going to enter is through the spa. It can be a little confusing for newcomers, but this is also where you can have certain services performed, like for hair, makeup, and nails. You can get massages here, or the reason I tend to visit is to go to the gym, and it is a very large gym on Utopia of the Seas. They've got a lot of cardio equipment, which you can enjoy while watching the ocean move by. I don't know, something, I hate treadmills, to be honest. I use them, but it is cooler when you're watching the ocean go by. And then, of course, a lot of strength training equipment as well, ranging from free weights to multi-gyms and Smith machines. Heading back out to the Royal Promenade, or kind of just above it now on Deck 6, we're going to first head left. And this is actually the first bar on a different Royal Caribbean ship, but the first bar I ever went to on a Royal Caribbean ship, and that's the Schooner Bar. I am a sucker for a nautical theme, and who doesn't like live piano, sometimes with sing-along, sometimes with ambient music. So this is where you have a bar that's just, they've got cutaways of ship models, a lot of rope work. It's a nautical theme bar. Who doesn't like a nautical theme bar? Also a popular place for martinis. On the other side, if we had forked right there, is the shore excursion area and focus. So you can browse shore excursions, print out your tickets, get help with them, and check out onboard photos. But for now, we're going to head to a different part of the ship, and that is the Boardwalk. The Boardwalk is located on Deck 7, all the way aft. And this is where you have, as you see there, the doghouse. You see there's a little bit of a boardwalk kind of theme to it. You've got games off to one side, skee ball, which I love playing skee ball and I'm never very good at it. Plus you have, frankly, one of my favorite spots, whether it's on a ship or on land, but a candy store, Sugar Beach. There's an upcharge for this candy. They have individual things. They have stuff by the pound, and they also have some ice cream options as well. It's bright and colorful, so it's fun to be in there for a little bit. Very popular spot when there are a lot of kids on the ship, but I've seen plenty of adults, myself included, indulging. Speaking of kids, the kids shop on Deck 7 aft. This is a smaller retail spot with more kid-focused stuff, right? Children's clothing, toys, and whatnot. And I think keeping with that theme, you can see the bright colors that really pop out. Playmakers is a sports bar here on Deck 7 on the Boardwalk. They have outdoor seating because this area is open to the sky above us, and they have indoor seating. A ton of televisions here, generally a lively atmosphere. This is where you're going to find sporting events all the time on television. And they have, it's easy to miss this kind of back portion with, you see foosball and other arcade games, and a whole separate area if you have a larger party that you want to rent out. Johnny Rockets is a spot for breakfast, complimentary breakfast in the morning, And then the rest of the time, there is an upcharge, so relatively small upcharge for Johnny Rockets, burgers, fries, onion rings. You either don't care or you can't get enough of them. These dry slides on the back of Utopia, this is called the Ultimate Abyss. Now, they have this on other ships, but this one is different. This is longer, faster. It has what they call zoom booster rollers. There's a transparent section, a bunch of lights. It moves faster. It's definitely a different experience. Check it out, though some are terrified of it. The Aqua Theater is another theater. This is all the way aft on the ship, so you get those cool ocean views, and this is where you have really neat shows because that is a stage, but also it's a pool so deep. That's right, there are high dives. There is 3D aerial rigging in this area. You'll see tightrope type performances, really cool stuff at night especially, and then by day, you can look at this area if you decide to check out those rock walls. That's a complimentary activity that is more fun than you'd think because you get some really unique views, especially when you're out to sea. If you look up in this boardwalk area, you'll notice that there are some staterooms. These are boardwalk balconies, and they can be cool rooms if you want fresh air and a unique view down to the boardwalk. On decks 8 and 9, we have Music Hall. This is a concert venue, essentially. Utopia of the Seas has a rock band on board, and they do covers from different bands, and they're really high energy. They were a lot of fun to watch, and people were really having a good time partying there. They've also got in the upstairs section billiards that you can play, and bars top and bottom. Also, you'll have special events occasionally in this space. But it is a nice use of space and a fun place to be. It's kind of set away from everything else, so it's easy to miss, but do check it out and come party. Now let's move to another one of those really cool spots you can only find on certain Royal Caribbean ships. This is Central Park on Deck 8, and just as you'd expect, it is a park. These are real plants. We'll talk about that in a moment. You've got a lot of different places to enjoy. It's like a community area. Here, by the way, is the Rising Tide Bar that we saw earlier. You've got nice restaurants in Central Park, including Chops Grill, which is a specialty restaurant for, especially, though not exclusively, for steak. And this is a staple on Royal Caribbean ships. So if you want to enjoy a special lunch or dinner, you can go to Chops or Popular, also 150 Central Park, in fact, my preference. And this is a more elevated dining experience. Make sure you make reservations if coming here for dinner. It can be pretty popular. Has a nice elegant touch to it. I really like the entrance of the spot. What I like even more, however, is the cauliflower steak. That's my menu recommendation if you're going to be visiting 150 Central Park. Continuing our stroll through the park, if you want to enjoy a beverage in the fresh air, maybe it's during the day, maybe it's at night, Trellis Bar, great atmosphere. In the day, you get the nice natural lighting, and at night you can enjoy quite often some live music that we'll catch a glimpse of in just a moment. But just a beautiful space. These are all, again, live plants, the entire wall, and there's another one behind me, these hanging plants. In fact, they have folks on board their only job is to take care of the plants in Central Park. Park Cafe, this is a complimentary venue for breakfast and lunch, generally lighter fare. They have both grab-and-go options as well as a little carving station and other things that they will make for you right then and there. Hot-pressed sandwiches. Something that my personal gripe at Park Cafe, you can get coffee there, but not specialty coffees, just drip coffee. This is one of the places that I tend to come for breakfast, though. Now, for dinner, you'll often find me at Izumi, and Izumi is a specialty restaurant on many Royal Caribbean ships for both sushi and hibachi. However, it is different on Utopia of the Seas for a couple reasons. One, it is really big. So here you see the teppanyaki area. They also have the Izumi in the park, just a quick grab-and-go window for sushi. That's an idea they took from Icon. And then there's a whole separate section for sushi with tables as well as seating at the sushi bar, and exclusive to Utopia, an omakase experience. The Collection is a high-end retail spot here in Central Park, And this is another place that you can check out high-end accessories. Whether you're going to be doing shopping, grabbing a drink, having a nice meal, do check out Central Park. This is one of my favorite spots on Royal Caribbean ships, in general, Utopia or otherwise. It's very relaxing, neat little touches like the live plants, cricket sounds, but just take a stroll. And when you're done strolling, stroll on over to Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar. This is a different Giovanni's than if you've been on some Royal Caribbean ships more than a few years ago. They started changing the restaurant, the theming, the menu, and I think it's a much better cuisine than, we'll say, the old Giovanni's, if you will. They also have a separate bar here. You'll recognize the space from some other Royal Caribbean ships where you have Wonderland here, and that's what the space is. But they even added outdoor dining, which is going to be nice for easily 3 days out of the year in the Caribbean, but it's a nice option to have. Just really nice atmosphere in here. Some of the best pizza at sea. I try to have at least one meal at Giovanni's whenever I'm on board a ship that has it. Now, two areas we cannot show you: Adventure Ocean, because it's for kids, and the escape room, because that would give away secrets, are located right next to each other. In fact, you kind of have to walk into the area to find the escape room, but there's good signage, as you see, and Royal Caribbean has a lot of areas for kids. We're going to show you some more of those when we are up on deck, or at least mention them. But right now, we're going to an area that is on deck that is only for adults, and that is the Solarium on deck 15 forward. I love the Solarium in general on ships, but man, on certain Oasis class ships, including Utopia, it is a great space, in part because it is climate controlled. It's not to say it's air conditioned. It's not like you're indoors. They just maintain a very mild atmosphere, and you still get the nice natural light all around. It's a big space. You have several different types of pools at different layers. You've got hot tubs, a full bar, a lot of loungers, whether you want to be down below looking out or near some of the windows on the side. They've even got these loungers down sort of inside of some of the pools. There's only a couple inches of water there. It's a wonderful place to hang out. And I love the fact that they've got plants and trees. Adults only, good bar, beautiful views, loungers. What else do you need? Another feature in the Solarium that is borrowed from other Royal Caribbean ships is this cantilevered hot tub. It's a big hot tub. I want to say the capacity is like 15 people. Might even say on one of these signs, not sure, but really intense views. May not be for everyone, but I think they're neat. They even have the screens up there to show you where you're at. Within the Solarium is a Solarium Bistro. Now, kids are allowed in here. Solarium Bistro during breakfast and lunch, lighter fare, healthier bites, and then at night, it's still complimentary with a Mediterranean menu. And if I recall, at night, I think you can order some things off of menu and other things are buffet style. Been a little while. Don't hold me to that one. But I really like this spot. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for sitting in this big center table here with the bulbs overhead and the cool chairs. Feels neat. We're going to step out of the Solarium Bistro now and head back out on deck opposite of the cantilever hot tub. So not in the Solarium, but on the other side of the ship, still deck 15 forward, is the Vue Bar. This is only on a couple ships. I really like it because Oasis class ships, there's a lot of neat things, but they don't have as many outdoor spaces where you can see the ocean, and here you definitely can. So it's just a bar to enjoy when you want to be outdoors, catch some sun, some fresh air, bring your sunscreen. It can be a little bit warm. Even had trouble adjusting the exposure here. We're going to stay outdoors on deck 15 now midship and check out the beach pool and the entrance to the water slides. There are several water slides here on Utopia of the Seas, and it's really hard to get a good feel from any particular angle on the ship, but some of them are pretty thrilling. Perfect Storm, Cyclone, check these out. There are different height requirements depending on the slide. Just know that for your kids. This is the beach pool, one of the main family pool areas. And like most of the pools on the ship, they've got a ton of seating around them, including this tiered seating and this shallow area you can wade in. So these here, now, these are actually two other pools just across from those on the same deck. Plenty of places to sit out and enjoy. Yes, there are a lot of people on these Oasis class ships, but if you're reasonably flexible, you will find a comfortable place to sit or lay down, relax, stay cool, or warm, whatever your preference might be. Younger kids can enjoy Splashaway Bay and stay cool there. Splash pad area with some smaller slides for shorter ones. And a play area for adults. Lime and Coconut. Lime and Coconut, here it's decks 15 and 16, but it's kind of become the general outdoor pool bar space on Royal Caribbean ships, and I love the colors. New venue here for food, the Spare Tire. This is just grab and go stuff. It's honestly relatively simple, not a huge menu, but it is nice that out by the pool, if you want to go out and grab something quick, you can. For a sit-down menu, I highly recommend the Mason Jar. This is a specialty restaurant that was introduced on Wonder of the Seas. They brought it back on Utopia, and I am glad. It is Southern cooking, Southern cuisine, which is not usually something I gravitate toward, but I find the food here to be really very good. The decor is also very welcoming, whether by night or day, so it just feels very homey and comfortable. Great food. You can also enjoy that food or some of it on an a la carte menu over at the bar, and they have a unique bourbon selection and some unique drinks at this bar as well. At night, this place is hopping because everything you're seeing here fills up so that people can enjoy the live music performed on that stage. For complimentary dining, your way on your time, check out the Windjammer Marketplace on deck 15. This is the buffet venue on Royal Caribbean ships, and they really did a spectacular job on Utopia. Big fan of the hand washing stations. I wish every restaurant everywhere in the world had those. Not only in terms of the variety, the selection you get from the moment you walk in. There are so many different stations, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and I sincerely appreciate that. But the layout, I find it really functional. They've got multiple sort of islands, and some things like salad, they're already plated to make it nice and easy. So you don't have the challenge that you have on some other ships where you're waiting in line, there's a bottleneck for one area or it's difficult to find a place. There's also a ton of seating. It wraps all the way around to those back windows that you see. So if you go all the way back, no one ever sits back there. This Utopia ship model, not a big deal, but I like showing because it's neat. Deck 16 forward, you can take a look at several Royal Caribbean ships. I think all the Oasis class ships have these. It's just a neat thing to check out. The arcade deck 16 aft. Now, there is a cost to each of these arcade games. Adults enjoy them, kids enjoy them. There's air hockey, which is something I've definitely accidentally hit people with, and you saw air hockey puck fly there, but it's a fun time. Complimentary games, however, can be had over at the Aqua Dunes. That's where you can play mini golf. And I don't think I've actually done that on a Royal Caribbean ship, not that I recall. I have been to Cantina Fresca. That is, we'll say it's a margarita bar. I mean, they have several things there, but margaritas are the big thing here, and that goes lovely with what's right next to it, which is El Loco Fresh. That is complimentary, kind of grab and go or relatively quick service Mexican. Not a lot of vegetarian options, but the salsa bar, plenty of vegetarian options there. I just go for chips and salsa sometimes. From there, you can see the zip line. You get on the far corner and land across the corner as you fly over the boardwalk. That is a complimentary activity. Make sure you do have closed-toed shoes that lace if you want to enjoy that. In this same area, this is really the sports and thrill area, is the sports court. Depending on the time of day, sometimes it's just open play. Hey, go play a pickup game with your friends, basketball. Other times, they'll have lessons or tournaments. So be sure to check the daily program for that. And then, of course, the Flow Rider Surf Simulator. There's only one on Utopia of the Seas. And try it. If you've never done it, try it. And you can, like me, embarrass yourself. The Ultimate Abyss, we showed that when we were down below. Here is the entrance to it up top, across from the Wipeout Bar. And Wipeout Bar on this ship is actually different, that they have a snow cone section. I thought that was pretty cool. Who doesn't like snow cones? Weirdos. Social 100 is behind those windows, another teen area, so we can't show you that. And then right next to there is an enclosed area for table tennis, open at the top, but enclosed around so that the wind doesn't blow the ball around. Deck 16, as you go above the pools, you have these casitas. Now, you do have to pay to rent these. Reservations can be handled over at the Lime and Coconut. There are signs for that. The charge varies depending on the sailing and whether it's a sea day. It can be a nice option, but it is a little bit of a splurge, especially when there's lots of seating. But they are pretty. And that little table is a cooler. There's outlets if you want to charge your devices while you're there. Or hang out no charge to enjoy the nearby hot tubs with the glass kind of wall looking out to the pools. These clamshells are also available. These are complimentary, no charge for the clamshells. And they're really cool pillows. I like those. Over here, another entrance to a kids area. So many kids areas. That one goes up to deck 17, actually. And finally, we're going to wrap it up. Deck 16 forward here at Hooked Seafood. This is another specialty restaurant specializing in, as you can imagine, seafood. So it's a raw bar, but they also have cooked selections as well. I don't think I've actually dined here, but man, it is a beautiful space with, it's above the Solarium Bistro. You don't enter through the solarium, but you get the advantage of the panoramic views and the beautiful natural light. You can find more helpful videos and links in the description below. For now, why not check out our vlogs from our Utopia of the Seas cruise or a tour of our unique stateroom on board this amazing ship. Thanks for watching. We look forward to talking ship with you again real soon.